Hello and welcome back to the Cascade subdivision. This is a layout update, or sort of a mini scenery update for May 2024. If you recall from my recent update from just a few weeks ago, on my visits home, I had been working on the terrain, specifically in this area on the lower level. And in this past week, or really 2 days, 48 hours, I had a little bit of a mad dash on the scenery in this area on the what would be the railroad south end of Oakridge to try and finish as much scenery as I could using the supplies I had on hand, and for the most part got a lot done. I'll walk through a lot of the things I did and then talk a little bit about what's to come and what I did not get done. So starting on this end, I do not have any more of the ballast I was using on the main line, and so that is why the main line here is all unballasted. Otherwise, I would have loved to get that finished off, and so just focused on getting ballast and dirt layers in along the spur, and then just today put in a lot of the static grass and some of this. It's really polyfiber with super leaves on top to represent a lot of the blackberry bushes and weeds. So did quite a bit of work over here in that regard. All of this was uncovered, and so I had to paint it, and then added zip texturing and dirt textures, and then whatever ballast I had on hand to sort of give it a pretty ragtag look. I'd like to come back and weather it. I did get some weathering powders today to try and do that, but just wasn't able to get around to it. But look forward to being able to finish that off, as well as finishing up along the backdrop. A lot of trees and bushes to add there to sort of blend the scene in to the back of the layout. Some may recall that I had static grass in this area here, in this area here, but just added new static grass here as well as dirt texturing here. This will be a control point, and so eventually 2 signals protecting the main and the siding, and then a signal here for the turnout, as well as PTC antenna and different control boxes, and then significantly more bushes and trees. This is a pretty shrubby area on the prototype. And then eventually we'll get to the road. I'm thinking of using, instead of Smooth It or other sort of plaster that you paint, I'm thinking of using AK Interactive asphalt texture, and actually looked for it today at the hobby shop to give it a try, but they didn't have any on hand. Now moving over here, again, added a lot of blackberries along the back, and then some grasses along the center of the track. Along the track, those are from Martin Wellberg, and some weeds along here, and then used Arizona Rock and Minerals to put this gravel road in along here, which kind of ends right where the helpers are sitting. A lot more, all of this work here on the left will have to be done on the right as well. Again, just waiting for some ballast and time to be able to complete that. Here in the foreground, still need to get some ties in for these turnouts, as well as switch machines, fill that in with ballast, and then other little details, maybe a pile of ballast or ties or old rail and different things like that. Along the backdrop, there should be the backs of some houses. I'm not exactly sure if I'll just put trees and a little bit of forest there, or if I will take the time to model those houses at this point. We will see. So that is it for my mini update. Really pleased with how this scene turned out. Wish I had a little bit more time and could have gotten a lot more done. Continued scenery to towards where I had started over in the yard and tied this whole area together, as well as getting some of the trees and other bushes up along. But those will have to wait for another time later in this year. So thanks for tuning in to this short little update, and stay tuned for what is to come from this layout as well as from my workbench. Thanks much.